So, beautiful people, what I want to talk to you today about is the Awakened Goddess. I'm going to give you a lot of detail on this in terms of what's involved in our masterclass, what she's not, what she is, and how you can use this energy. But before we go into it, let me tell you specifically what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the Awakened Goddess, what she is and what she's not, how you can embody her fully, and how to use this energy in manifestation. Now, it's not what you think or have been told before, so that's a little bit of a spoiler alert for you. And exciting details of our Awakened Goddess Masterclass. And firstly, and without ado or fanfare, that Masterclass is going to be on the 20th of January, which is just a couple of weeks away, I think at 4 o'clock. And it is called the Awakened Goddess, which you'll hear us talking about much more so as we move on, if with our group and with the work that we're offering. In the masterclass, we're going to be breaking down the process of energetic expansion, and we'll be initiating the creative life force within you and activating the aligned action taker. Now, these things work together, and often they don't do it that well, but we're going to give you a real framework of how you can kind of land that in your life. Ultimately, it's going to offer you a powerful combination of all sorts of different levels of the highest version of you, how the power of love works through this energy, and how you can use it for your year coming forward. So a little bit later in the live stream, I'm going to actually outline exactly what we're going to be covering point by point. So if you're interested, then please do wait to the end. The Awakened Goddess, what is she? Should we talk about that a little bit? She is part of the very makeup of the universe, and she's within every single living thing there is. She simply is creation. She's love, and she's you. But because we're programmed to survive, because we're human, and our culture rewards ego-based external success first, she has been forgotten, sidelined, and a lot of the time she's been shamed. Now, she is not floaty, ethereal, fairy, although she's in parts of every part of that. She is not queen who flaunts and shouts, tells everyone what she's done and needs adoration. She is not diva who demands attention and stamps her foot. She's not the man basher who projects all of her problems onto masculine or patriarchy. She's not small. She is not anything other than the imaginary force of creation within you. And your imagination, when allowed to play, really is massively vast. I mean, doesn't that sound gorgeous? More than that, it sounds gorgeous. When you feel it running through you, it is gorgeous. It's just pleasure on every level. What is she then? She's breath. She's love. Oh, she's compassion. She's water. She's sustenance. She's a whisper. She's a song. She's destruction. She's fire. She's smoke. She's change. She's the shapeshifter in you. She's the serpent rising up your spine. She's the eagle spreading your wings, and she's the black panther supporting you to see in the dark. Most of all, she's within you. Can you feel her? Right now, just check in. Can you feel her in every cell of your being, in everything you are? She's you. Now, this masterclass we have is an invitation. Will you awaken her? Do you dare? Because, when you do, I'm not going to lie to you, there's going to be change. You will be challenged to behave differently, think differently, believe differently, and take action differently. But I am guessing really that you want that, otherwise you wouldn't be here listening to me and you wouldn't be searching for more of yourself with every breath you take. That's her, you know, the searcher, the longing, that's her. And that longing, that more, is in manifestation. But this manifesting power you have is not in the way that it's been sold to you before. I'm going to break through a few myths here. I'm sure that you kind of have an inkling of this already. It is not that you can have anything you want. Sorry about that, guys, but it's just not that. Anything you want, anything you think you can manifest, simply connects to ego needs. A desire for consumption, a desire to prove something or somewhat to, or prove to someone that you're successful by acquiring things, that you're successful by succeeding. A desire to be a voice in an industry and an influencer at all costs, to reach heights of revenue, can also be ego need, an ego need to be seen, to be heard, proving again you're worth something to somebody. When actually, manifestation is really about the dance with her within you, with the universe within you. What do you want? What you think you want to manifest doesn't take into account your soul's path. It doesn't take into account your soul contracts. It doesn't take into account the greatest good of all of us. And it doesn't take into account the spiritual master plan. Now, if you know what all that is, then great, manifest away. But I'm betting you don't. I don't know what's around the corner for me or available for me tomorrow. So how can I presume to know what I can manifest beyond an ego need? So manifestation of whatever you want is full of ego, a kind of a very small vision of what is available to you. Whereas I think desire to create brings something different. So if I can let go of, I want to manifest whatever I want, and I invite my clients to do this too, I can actually show up as my gold standard self. And I can connect to the deep desires of my being, which are different to what I want tomorrow or what I want externally. What I can do is work with my shadow, get to know my subconscious programs. They're still with me. They still continue to define, and they will be with you until the day you die. They are a constant evolution of yourself. You can also work with your ego mind that limits you and thinks that you want this. Oh, I want this, so I'm going to go and manifest it. No, you don't. You want freedom. Freedom to experience yourself, freedom to experience her. And when you are feeling that longing, it's different to wanting. It's a longing. It's an urge to respond to the creative force within you. You can do that in the dance with the goddess. I can own her within me, and I think a lot of you obviously can in moments, but live with her. Allow that energy to be your creating force. Allow that energy to shine through your eyes. Allow that energy to love. And from that place, that awakened goddess within, you can ask yourself questions. How can I behave in my birthright energy that I am a prize? I'm the prize of the universe. How can I honor my uniqueness? Again, I don't want to talk about concepts here with you. I'm talking about action-based, real terms living. Because if in concept you do honor your uniqueness, you understand that, but in external life, you don't honor your uniqueness with your actions. We have a mismatch, and what we're looking for is for you to be unconscious. It's such a habit in you, it's such a way of being in you, that awakened goddess is in everything that you do all of the time. And then after you have kind of found that place, you can take aligned action based on her responses rather than the small responses of your ego mind. Does that make sense to you? So when you come back to that place of awakened goddess, I'm the prize, I honor my uniqueness, and you show that in your lived experience, you can take aligned action, and that aligned action comes into the sacred spiritual alchemical marriage, the duality of goddess and God in union, manifesting life. Now that is ultimate manifestation, and it will create a life for you. It will create an emotional state within you. It will create a breath body and a spiritual connection to everything. It will be different to any sort of manifesting process that you can think of or experienced before. I often hear that people can manifest anything they want. I've said that. And then you go through that process of manifesting anything you want, and then perhaps start beating yourself up because you haven't quite done it yet. But they have, and he has, and she has. And why can she do it and I can't? I don't know if that's something that you recognize. You've got to give yourself a break, because you don't know when your time is on your path. You don't know when your season is on your path. You don't know what your soul contract is. You don't know what your soul expansion is. This is all outside of our human awareness. What you have to find is trust of her, because she really is the creative force within you. She's the compass. She's the guide. She is the one who will create with you your best lived life if you let her. And that's why Kelly and I have come together with the Awakened Goddess Masterclass. So, does that sound cool? I think it does. I'm super excited about it. So what will we be covering in this masterclass? There's 5 things in particular. The first one is how to connect to the limitless information highway in your creative mind and discern the path forwards, because that's the tricky thing, isn't it? Trusting and discerning what is available to you now. Where can I take the aligned action? So that you're in this information highway and you recognize the strongest energy point available to you. And that's the one to go with. As you do that, we're going to teach you how to conquer your ego mind and use it as a force of good. Now, this is the expression of your personality. Your ego mind is an expression of your personality, and it's hugely valuable when it's used for expansion rather than doubt. But it must never lead you. And at the moment, most of our whole life is led by ego wants. So we've got a big section in this masterclass about how you shift its power over your decision making. Then we're going to look at how to summon the goddess for innovation. We awaken her, and now we're going to invite her to problem solve, to come up with different ways to open up to the energy of what's available to you. And here we show you how to let this kind of energy rise in you every day, so you can live in the rhythm and the flow. We're women, so we are not built to be on all of the time. We need to rest. We need to restore. We need to transmute. We need to translate. We need to integrate, much more so than men. We need to live within our own season, within our own life, and how that works for us. And looking at how the goddess can support that energy in you is very important in how you actually manifest different things. And then, of course, the goddess would not be complete without her duality, without her opposite. And we're going to look at how to activate the masculine for wealth in a healthy way. We're going to love that action taker within you. For without action, there's just absolutely no expansion. But how we take action really does matter. Planning aligned to the energetic point of strength is important. And will remove unnecessary action, unnecessary doubt, confusion, inability to make decisions. So this is another big point, and I think something very useful to anybody that comes and watches with us. And then finally, we'll bring it all together. So what happens when you do unite your spiritual energy and your personality, so the goddess and the god, to effectively build a life that has foundation with your deep desires and builds a reality for you so that you pinch yourself to make sure it's real. And I have to say, most of the time I do that, because I look around and think, my God, Sarah, wow. And if that's what you want in your life, the awakened goddess, she's there in you. I know you feel her, is ready. I want to remind you that it's on the 20th of January at 4 p.m. UK. And you will have lifetime access to it. We won't be taking it down. We'll be giving it to you so that you can come back and use all the tools within it going forwards in your life. So if you want in, do come. Let me know that in the meantime, if anybody watching has any questions, it will give you an answer. Is the masterclass covered in the Return to Avalon? No, it's a separate standalone. It's something additional and juicy and kind of complete in its delivery. There's a lot to cover, so we'll be looking at an hour and 90 minutes together, and we will be taking questions, etc., at the end of that masterclass as well. Okay, everyone, thanks for listening to me, and I will see you all again soon, hopefully on the 20th of January in our Awakened Goddess Masterclass. Bye, guys.